All right, we're going to get started by turning the time over to Carl to do some events for us. Let us know what's coming up.
I don't even know what's going on. Look at that. Let's see.
Looks like a DX shirt.
It is. You know, after last weekend, you know, I'm going to, if I say too much, I'll get in trouble with Michelle, but, you know, we really had a gas for Winter Field Day. I mean, it was more like Summer Field Day. The weather was so good.
Oh, it was nice.
And we had such good amount of people out there. I don't know what you're going to say, but I got to say it. We had fun.
We had a blast.
So
We had a lot.
A couple times because I think you're on there to talk about that.
No, I'm not. She has already looked. That's why I'm saying I'm stepping all over her, because it was a gas. And for those who didn't get a chance to go, you missed out on a good one. Anyway.
Hey, don't steal my thunder over there.
Okay, I won't steal your thunder. But I will say this: when we set up our antennas out there, and a lot of people you already know, a lot of guys were there helping us set up. We went for a radio check. This still made my whole weekend. We went for a radio check. A guy was hitting me about 20 over, and there's about 10 guys around that can verify this. And I came back to him, and he brought my personal call sign back. It was Cape Town, South Africa, from the Linden Marina on 100 watts on a wire. So, yeah, oh man, I'm still charged up over that. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm sorry, I digress. I don't want to steal any. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Joe. Lunch Bunch, Los Hermanos, State Street in Linden. We've all been there. Haven't we all been there? Anyway, Saturday the 17th. That is suspiciously after Valentine's Day. So after you recover from your Valentine's Day dinner, there you go. Anyway, yeah, we have about 30 people show up. I think maybe it was more than that for our last lunch bunch at the barbecue place there in American Fork. I can't even think of the name of it. We had a great turnout. So what's the name of it, Linda? Wallabies. Yeah, that's right. I live right that corner. So anyway, we had a really good turnout. Linda's hoping that we have that good of a turnout for that. All right, this is the one we really want to talk about. Don't let some family reunion get in your way of putting this on the calendar so it gets scheduled over. We always have a good turnout for the 7-6 barbecue. It's really turned out to be the UVARC barbecue because more UVARC people show up there than 7-6ers really. There's usually, yeah, it started out as a 7-6 barbecue, so we're still calling it that. Anyway, June 1st, we moved it back out of that slot we ended up with last year in July, which wasn't very much fun because it was so hot. But anyway, that will be June 1st, Highland Glen Park. That's the little lake that's right down there below Lone Peak High School. If you've never been there, it's kind of a nice little setting in there. Noji always comes out and brings out the new Hamnet starts. Noji always comes out and sets up a GOTA station, and people that haven't been on, HF before can come out and make some contacts and stuff like that. And so that's a lot of fun. We always have a raffle that helps pay for the chicken. I do a bunch of barbecue chicken, and we have a big potluck otherwise. And so we always have a pretty good turnout, and always ends up to be a lot of fun down there at the lake. So anyway, and door prizes. We always give away a few radios and stuff like that. I think that's all I got, isn't it? Yep, it's Michelle.
You look so sad, Carl.
No, I hope I didn't steal any of your thunder, but Field Day was a jazz.
Oh yes, Field Day.
Jackson and Elijah and a few other new people, Dakota. Oh, they did awesome.
Well, we hit Scotland also. We hit Italy.
Santiago, Chile.
Chile, yeah.
And Scotland and UK. There's a bunch of DXs.
Okay, Winter Field Day. Yeah, we've been chattering about this all night for those that came out. We want to thank everybody that came out, got on the radio, anybody that with the trailers. We want to thank you guys that brought out trailers. Help set up, breakdown. The food was good. Company was good. The one thing that we did bring out this year, and a lot of you that were there, we brought out, me and my husband, Joe, you guys all know Joe over here. We did bring out a portable heater that around the food. We noticed for a couple hours that everybody sat there and we chatted around the heater, which I thought was a great addition to.
That was a really good idea.
To have everybody just sit there and talk, and besides just being in the trailers and talking. So it turned out a lot of fun. Besides just sitting out there just, being on the radios, we were able to get out and talk also.
Pizza disappeared, didn't it?
Oh, yes, it disappeared really quick. But yeah, if you want the heater back out next year, we're on it.
You must need it for summer.
Yes.
We're so warm this one, we're gonna get the cold in the next one.
We'll have to see what the temps are up there. I might have to strap it on the side-by-side trailer. Okay, Summer Field Day, Saturday, June 22nd through the 23rd. Trout Creek, up at Trout Creek near Strawberry. Same location as last year. Chad will be back in our trailer again, so we're looking for one other trailer, two other trailers that we can put, one other trailer then?
Well, the club trailer will
So
come.
we will need the GOTA, of course, and
Oh, the GOTA.
one more, so just one more.
One more trailer, and then we will need help bringing up the porta potties, the communication trailer, and the GOTA trailer. So either reach out to me or Noji or Carl if you guys can help with that stuff, and we'll get you on the list. But I know Digital's back into the Puma trailer like normal. So if you need any information on that, just get with me or Noji or Chad, and we'll give you the information on that. Okay, Noji, you are up.
And how many contacts do we have?
We had over 1,000?
Oh, we had,
47.
yeah, about 1,100, maybe almost 1,200 contacts. So we really killed it. I don't know how many we had last year to compare, so I don't know if we overdid it from last year or not.
I think we had like 14.
Did we have 1,400?
But a couple of notable things this year. I think we had a record turnout.
Yeah, we had record number of people.
People came out, and we got torn down in record time.
Oh, man.
We
First time we ever got out of there before 1 o'clock.
I was gonna say, we were out of there by, I know we were loaded and gone. We were probably the last
So
trailer
thanks
out
to
of
everybody
there.
for all your help. You guys make it awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for everybody's help, especially those who brought RVs, contributed that way, and just helped out with all the work, setting up the antennas and everything. It was just,
We still didn't get Virgin Islands. But we found out what the golden horseshoe was.
what's that? What's a golden horseshoe?
Isn't it that NG?
Around the UP, right?
Yeah, it's the Canadian right around the Great Lakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Ontario, Quebec.
It says
No,
GH.
this is the first year we got that.
Oh, I thought we got it up at Summerfield Day too.
I never even had heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it either.
And then suddenly we got it, so.
We got Puerto Rico this year, which is always
We
awesome.
got Puerto Rico like 3 times. That was cool. Yeah.
That's Japan too.
Japan as well?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know I worked with them, so.
Nice.
So we got a few more countries and a few more areas than we've gotten before.
So every year we do this. We ordered 12 pizzas, okay? This is the first year they were all eaten by the time the 6 o'clock rolled around. Usually they were sitting there, collecting, mold and everything overnight, right? This time they didn't even have time to get rotten, so they got eaten right away, which is really good, a good problem to have because, it means a lot of people showed up. It was a lot of fun.
The sunset was fantastic
Oh,
Saturday
man,
night.
yeah.
Holy cow.
How could you even notice that if you're in the trailer doing?
Who was it that had that? Oh, it was Hannah. It was Hannah that had.
Oh, and then Cindy.
Take a picture, and I followed her.
Yeah, Cindy Lee took photos too, Hannah, and there were a few others that took some amazing photos.
Yeah.
We even had some that cover our tent was getting their picture taken next to one of the antenna posts.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh, Jeff McGrath's got a video that he's gonna turn over to the club. That he took some aerials and stuff like that, and he got that wedding photo videos. That they were right there by the mast.
Yeah. Posted by the best.
Well, they weren't even hams.
Well, who'd have thought that our thing was so popular that people would want to get their wedding photo taken with it, right?
Yeah, and from what I heard, Carl got some sleep.
Oh, yeah. These guys put me down right in the chair.
All right, very good. Let's move on. So I just wanted to mention a couple of ham radio exams. For those of you who are planning on upgrading or telling your friends about getting new into ham radio, here are a couple of exam sessions. These things are, I don't even know why I'm telling you, okay, because taking up space and time. But they're posted on our website, posted in the newsletter. We announce them here and there. So anyway, a couple of ham radio exam sessions in Utah County. And we have a general course starting up on March 19th for those who want to upgrade to general. And over here next door to this place. And then Dave Bakar is not here, I don't think, so I'll speak for him. He's also got things going on in Eagle Mountain, technician course starting tonight. Well, I guess that's why he's not here. So he's over there teaching the course right now. And then he's got a ham radio exam coming up on March 2nd. Follows that. All right, next up, Gavin.
So if you guys remember, last month we had Karen, our emergency coordinator for UCARES, gave a presentation on how to get connected with us on our, if there's an emergency type call out at the county level. And pleased to announce we have about 88 people so far in that group. But if you're still interested in that, if you don't get a chance to see the presentations that go on, I know that these are all recorded. Great way to go back and get some information. We can email more out if you're interested in that. But I want to give a little plug on something that's a little different with UCARES. UCARES, if you don't know, is the Utah County Amateur Radio Emergency Services. And what they do is they have a certification program. I'm sure, is anybody here working on them, knows what the certification, see you've got a few hands there. This is 4 levels of certification. And as I've been going through, I'm a level 3 out of the 4. And as I've been going through those, I've been watching how I have progressed in my abilities to do emergency communications. And so if you're not a member of UCARES, come on back. I got a little QR code. You can join up if you're interested. It's free. But if you are a UCARES member and you're not working on your levels of certification, I have a couple printouts that you can just grab one tonight and take it with you. It's really nice because it goes from equipment to your actual performing services in more of a real world situation, as well as on our weekly nets. So it gives you a very wide array of training opportunities. But the nice thing is it builds that confidence. So if there's an emergency, you can get on that radio and you know how to communicate, who to communicate with. It just gives that extra peace of mind. It's a good old be prepared. So anyway, I just want to invite you to do that. The other thing that I want to show you is we actually have our nets as well. They're a little bit later. They're at 9 o'clock at night. You can see them up on the screen. We link up 2 different repeaters. We practice splitting off our members onto another whole repeater as we can do check-ins on different routes. Just kind of getting that practice of it. But if you don't have any of these repeaters programmed in your phone, not even that, your radio. I know we're doing radio programming in the back. Take advantage of it. Also, find a friend who's got some programs and get that. With that, any questions on UCARES? All right. So I'll be in the back. You'll see some vests. There's a few guys that are all wearing their vests. Ask questions. Let us know how we can help you. Yeah,
I have a question.
in the very back.
How do we know where the EOCs are?
So that's a great question. Does anybody know what an EOC is? Emergency Operations Center, right. There is an actual spreadsheet that has all of that data on it. It's on the website. Do you remember what page it's on? Is it on our nets page?
I think it's on the front page.
It's on the front page?
On the front page because...
Yeah, the front page has kind of got the best spots on there. But yeah, there's a link that will link you right into a Google Doc. That's something that you want to know because if you need to, if you want to go visit one, That's part of certification levels, as well as if there's an emergency going on, you should know where those are in case maybe you can even go man them at some point. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, so come on back, talk to us, join us, get prepared. Thanks. I don't know who's next.
Not me.
Yep. It's No G is next with, on a personal note. Again. Already, still.
All right. Recently, we had a bunch of people who just got their licenses. If any of you are in this list, could you please stand? Well, good job and congratulations and welcome to the world of amateur radio. And that would be Joe and Holly. So welcome, guys. And also, we had a few upgrades as well. Those of you who are on this list, could you please stand? Good job, you guys.
Same? Extras?
All right, I now turn the time over to Shawn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, I first started this presentation quite a while ago, and when I did, I had the most incredible presentation you would ever see. It started out with what SWR is, and then it had all these fancy graphs in it, and for those of you who don't know what the graphs look like, they look like a round circle looking down at a tornado, and it goes down to a little circle in the middle, and you go through them and you go, wow. And I had all that stuff, and then I went through it a while ago and I went, this is the most boring presentation I've ever seen in my life, and I made it. It was like a week's worth of advanced physics classes and calculus in about 45 minutes. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to break this actually down into 3 sections. So these are just small. Please keep that in mind. Another thing that's kind of unique to me is I move around a lot. So with the microphone, I'm sorry, you'll probably drive you crazy. I forgot my wireless mic.
You can fix that.
Oh, we got one. Yeah. Hello. Does it work? Yeah? Okay. All right. Little teeny bit about me, very, very quickly. I've spent the last 35 years, roughly, teaching school. I've taught little teeny 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. And in all of my time, I found out there's nothing worse than bored 7th, 8th, and 9th graders unless they're younger. And right now we do have a few younger people, and one's playing with tickets or something, yay. One's having the nap, now hiding. And then we have Jackson that's listening because he wants to know all about this stuff. So everybody that is under 12 and under, come on up for a second. Oh no, I'm not going to embarrass you, I promise. Watch the cord. That's the one that I had to play catch with last time. Did I wake you?
Maybe.
Okay. I have something very important for you guys for today. And the rest of you are going, we want one of these. I might have to borrow your little table. I got it. I have a wave demonstration tool. And hopefully you won't be as bored. Okay, now we can go on with this. So you go, that's like a slinky. Yeah. Yeah, okay, go ahead, have a seat. That gives you something to play with and be less bored. To put it in the simplest terms for the rest of you, it sucks for you. So get ready to be bored. Okay, this thing. Uh-oh. It's not listening, it's not playing. You know, you're somebody, our expert here.
I heard the sound.
Yeah, but it should be playing over HDMI.
Sometimes it's down above the
Probably have to disable the HDMI out of your digital stuff.
It could be. Oh, where are we? Do you think I can see which one says mic and which one says?
Plug it in, you'll find out. Those are working well.
Nope. What the heck? It does not want to play my first one. Okay. All right, we'll come back to that one. Okay, still no sound. Just kind of watch it. It's talking about all these omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids you're supposed to watch. This is kind of our attention getter. You know, how's the fish on the line? Okay, now we can go on with the presentation.
All that work just for that?
All that work for just that. Okay, and you're wondering why. Most of you will not remember a single thing about today's presentation except maybe that part. So that's an important thing. All right, when I started this, it was like just SWR. It was like, no, don't want straight SWR. I want something a little bit different. We're talking about waves along with SWR. And the first one is sound waves. And all of our new hams, we've all done this. I'm as guilty as everybody else. You sit there with your brand new HT and you're playing with it. And as you're talking on it, it's about arm's length. And you're talking really quiet. And you hope they hear you. Well, a sound wave is called a longitudinal wave. So it has stretches and squishes and stretches and squishes and stretches and squishes. And that's what carries the sound. It's vibration. That's why when you walk through something that's music, real heavy bass in it, you can actually feel it in your chest. You're feeling the vibration through the room. How many of you have like a subwoofer in your house? Anybody in here? For all of you, this is a fun thing to do. Turn up the subwoofer and get some music that has some real good bass in it. Get a piece of paper. Don't use your newspaper, or you'll regret it. But a piece of paper and put it in front of that big hole and watch what it does. And some of you go, have anybody done that? Yep. Two of you, it's like cool. That paper all of a sudden goes, boom, clear into the subwoofer. The reason you don't do it with newspaper is, depending on the size, it's actually strong enough to rip the newspaper apart. And then you got chunks inside your subwoofer that rattle. So, yeah, it's vibration. It's pushing, coming back. Okay, so that's one type. What they want you to do is we want you to get close to the microphone. Now, there's a problem. If it's a real good microphone, we don't like you getting close to it. Not far away either, but if you've ever watched on TV, a lot of times they'll have a round thing in front of it. That's for all of the, when you're talking, it's called a pop filter. Our microphones in our HTs, et cetera, are so badly designed compared to studio mics, they don't pick that up. That's why you have to be close to it. It's the vibration. Think of it as no more than, and I'm not telling you the whole truth, but because it's more complicated than this, but think of it as a sheet of plastic, a magnet, and a coil of wire, and it vibrates back and forth, and that's what causes the sound. Good microphones are different than that, but that's kind of how they started. All right, that's the different waves and the compressions to the stretched parts. Those are your sound waves. One wavelength goes the same way from peak to peak, or from valley to valley, or from one point to another. I wish that was working. Okay, and we're skipping that. Okay, we in ham radio are concerned with transverse waves or sine waves or electromagnetic waves. And just to review a couple of terms, because this is a little teeny bit important when it comes to understanding exactly what SWR means. So if you look at our wavelength, it's going from peak to peak, or it could be going from trough to trough, or node to node. The height is how strong the wave is from the crest to the peak, and that's our regular wave that we're used to transmitting. The most interesting thing is, and I know G's going to have a fit, it's going to take hours for you to fix all the mistakes I make, so get ready. The best way to understand what sideband is, kind of, I know I'm lying when I say this, is if you take a piece of paper and you chop the top half off, it's lower sideband, so to speak.
I'll neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. He goes, that's not exactly true. I know it's not exactly true, but it's a good way to think of it. You chop the bottom half, that's upper sideband-ish. And again, not exactly true. Okay, the frequency is how many wavelengths pass in a second. For ham radio, most of what we're concerned with is the size of the wave. 2 meter, that means the wave's about 2 meters long. For the frequency, 40 meters, it's about 40 meters long. 220 meters, wouldn't that be incredible to have a 220 meter antenna, full wave? What, 3/4 of a mile at a guess in the math? Something like that. Okay, I think this will play. Now, that's part of the story. If you remember, we have electromagnetic waves. So we only usually talk about one part of the wave. So when you look at this, and hopefully it plays, no promises. Okay, you can see the blue part, which is the magnetic part. You're seeing the electrical part, which is the red. And it's two parts of the wave, two separate waves in there. And it's moving down the line. And some of you go, that's different than I've ever thought. Now, the next thing to keep in mind with this is the higher frequency the wave, the more energy, intensity the wave can carry. That's why your microwave oven is at 2.4 gigahertz and it cooks your food. If you have your HF antenna, your 1500 watt linear amp with your directional antenna, and you point it at your hamburger, it's not going to cook it. It's not that type of a wave. Each one of those sections that you look at have advantages. The lower the frequency on radio waves, this is this side, AM, the lower the frequency, the better it goes around the earth. Low enough frequency, we call them very low frequency, very, very low. It just goes right along the edge of the earth all the way around. And we use that for certain things. Contacting submarines, best way. The wave follows the water around. And that happens to be where a submarine is. As you go higher into radio waves, it can carry more information and it also has more energy to it. Your microwave, 2.4 gigahertz. The one I found out that was really interesting, and I don't know if this is true, this was just, I read it, cannot confirm it, but you remember the old Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft that are now leaving our solar system? Those were built in the 1960s, late 1960s.
Like a Voyager?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the last one was launched in 1970. Supposedly, their download frequencies for the health of the satellite is 2.4 gigahertz. For the TV transmission, etc., it's supposed to be 8.2 gigahertz. That may not sound like anything, but back then they did not have integrated circuits. They don't have the things we have. Even the length of wires on resistors changes the circuitry. That would be almost an impossible thing to get. As we move farther, we get into radar stuff. For those of you who go into the airport and they have you stand in front of the scanner and they do that, that nice thing runs at about 25, depending on which one, 25 to 50 gigahertz. They love that because it hits your outer body and stops. And it will reflect back. They don't want to go through you. That's an X-ray. They want an outline of you. So it goes around you, scatters back, and they can do the thing because of that characteristic of that wave. Now, for SWR, standing wave ratio. So it's a ratio. Think of it as a percentage. Also called voltage. So if you have a V in front of it, it all requires the same thing. Hopefully you have a transmitter, a feed line, and an antenna. When you key your transmitter, it sends the voltage, the signal, the RF, down your coax. Hits the antenna. There you go. The middle one says if it's a 1-to-1, that is a perfect match. That means your signal, 100% of your power minus loss on cable, hits the antenna and goes out of the antenna. And we like that a lot. Can you program / adjust your antenna for 1-to-1? Yeah, for like one teeny frequency, and that's about it. This is cussing at me for a second. Okay, then you change anything. So you move it just a little bit on the dial. It's no longer 1-to-1. It's changed that much already. Okay, when it's a mismatch, so it's a 1.5, it's a 3, percentage section is going to be reflected back to your radio. That's why you hear SWRs are bad for your radio. If you have a newer radio, it will actually go through and it will cut the power back to save the radio. So you'll start out talking at 100 watts, and then as you key it, if the SWR is too high, then all of a sudden it'll back it clear down to 5 watts. It's saving the output transistors, the finals. The old tube radios, for the most part, were more tolerant of high SWR than what transistors are. Notice I said, for the most part, more tolerant. And so they could get away with it in the old days a little easier, and it was easy to replace a tube. Replacing a transistor is kind of a mess inside your radio. For example, on this, you look at it, it has a radio of 50 ohms. You look at the antenna, it's 75 ohms. Or maybe we have a well-matched antenna, and we're using TV coax, that's 75 ohms. Can you use it? Absolutely. You take the 75 divided by 50, and you're going to have an SWR of 1.5. Tolerable. Actually pretty good, depending on your frequency. You know, not bad. Okay, what it's measuring is the forward energy leaving the radio. It hits, and it's measuring the energy reflecting back. Okay, that's all it's measuring. And it compares the size of the two.
Reflecting back from what?
The antenna. Okay, it hits the antenna like a wall. Okay, and the easiest way to think about it maybe is imagine a big hole in the wall, about that big. And I have a pipe that's that big sending water. Is all of it going to fit through the hole? It's more that's going through than the pipe, so it's going to stop, at least some of it. That's kind of what happens when it hits your antenna, except it doesn't just stop, it bounces back. It's like a ping pong ball. If you look at the picture, the blue is the original signal. So that's the one we talked to. It hits the antenna. The black is the reflected. So that is 100% loss roughly, or no antenna hooked to the coax. So 100% of the energy hits it, can't go out hardly, little teeny bit still does, but almost all of it goes right back into your antenna or into your radio. So if you think about the math for a second, think of infinity divided by 1. Or divided by 50 anyway. Can't happen. Okay. When you watch that, that's your original signal coming out of your radio. And again, this shows you exactly what SWR is going to do. The next thing you're going to see is 100% of the wave reflected, and when it's reflected, it's going to be in a different color. So it hits the antenna, and sooner or later it's going to be reflected. As soon as I click the little box, there it is. Now you're seeing it being reflected back to your radio. Does that appear to be a good thing? Your radio's not going to like all that power going back to it. It's going to have a problem with it. Now, an SWR, standing wave, does something else. Anytime two waves meet, they either get bigger or they get smaller. So when you look at that, the black line, that is the standing wave. Notice the signal was coming out of the radio, it was being reflected, And then that black line was getting bigger, it was getting smaller, it was getting bigger, and it was either adding or subtracting from those waves. Does that now make more sense what SWR is? Without tons of math? Okay, according to the charts, if you have an SWR at 2 to 1, that's pretty normal, tolerable on most radios without a problem. You're having about 30% of the power reflected back. So is it going to go through and do that much damage to the wave? It's going to be a little teeny wave that's bouncing back. It's not going to be nearly as much. Are you going to notice it on your talking? No. Are you going to notice the power loss? Probably not. You won't. It might be a little teeny bit on that contact someplace. But you got to remember, you have loss on your coax, you have loss on the antenna, you have loss, list goes on and on and on and on. So it really chews it up. So you probably won't even notice it. Okay. That is the end of part 1. Now, part 2, when I give that, that is where we get into the math more, et cetera, because I told you when I gave that first presentation and I looked through it, I never gave it to anybody. I went, dang, I'm going to be asleep with this and I'm presenting it. And I'm serious, it was not good. So anyway, this is for everybody. I am very, very... Which side of this has the actual microphone in it?
Top, right there.
There? Okay. This is the one thing that I like to show everybody. And I know you're going, wow, really? You like this? Sometimes we get set in our ways. And when we're set in our ways, we don't always want to vary, to do something different, to try something new, or more important, to listen to anybody else. So if this plays, and if it doesn't, we'll just call it good. Can you hear it?
Again, this is the USS Montana requesting that you immediately divert your course 15 degrees.
So internet's hearing it.
Please divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid.
This is Captain Hancock. You will divert your course. Over.
Negative, Captain.
Now what happened?
This is the USS Montana. The second North Atlantic Fleet. You will change course 15 degrees.
Again, this is the USS Montana requesting that you immediately divert your course 15 degrees to the north to avoid a collision. Over. Please divert your course 15 degrees to the south to avoid collision.
This is Captain Hancock. You will divert your course. Over.
Negative, Captain. I'm not moving anything. Change your...
So, this is the USS Montana. The second Atlantic Fleet. You will change course 15 degrees north, or I will be forced to take measures to ensure the safety of this ship. Over.
This is the lighthouse, mate. It's your call.
Okay, so we need to be a little bit flexible. All right, well, thank you very much for your time, and I'm pretty close, isn't it?
So it take 20 minutes, sure.
Yeah, but you have to have time to get over to, yeah.
You're supposed to go to 8 o'clock.
It's just fun.
All right, thanks to Shawn for doing that for us, and we're looking forward to the next parts, so thank you. We'll now turn the time over to Brent to do some door prizes.
That reminds me of one thing.
Uh-oh, Brent, you're in trouble.
Oh, no. No.
For all the 12-year-olds plus you.
All right.
All right.
Jackson, come on up and help.
I'm just gonna steal this for a minute. Okay, so my voice carries. So can everyone hear me okay?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, bite me. Okay, so my voice carries, so if I can avoid using a microphone, I will. Jackson, you are by far probably the youngest general licensee that we have in the Utah Valley Amateur Radio Club. Well done. So I always have a tradition when it comes to young ones getting their license. I usually have a set of 3 questions, but you're the first one that I've run into that's actually achieved getting their general. So, I live in the 55 plus community. So, yes, well that and I live, well anyway, that's a conversation for another time. I always like to say I am the youngest president in the 55 plus community. I have a challenge for you. Next week on the 76ers, I want you, when you check in, to give your call sign and say, I am the youngest general in the Utah Valley Amateur Radio Club.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, the second thing I want you to do is to really rub it in your friend's face how cool you are that you are a ham radio operator and they're not. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, now the third thing is, can you help me hand out door prizes?
Yeah.
Okay, so our door prizes tonight, we have 2 sets of 7-3 hats. One each. If you take one, you can only take 1 hat, then someone else gets the other. Some E through Z fuse tape, a club light, a child correctional device. Actually, it's a Baofeng antenna. A 2-way handheld ham radio. I said transceiver. Noji wanted me to be politically correct about it and call it a ham radio. So, and you said ham radio.
Ham radio transceiver.
Oh, yeah, I swear you. All right. Anyway, an ARRL membership, a $10 gift card to McDonald's, and a Kenwood walkie-talkie or mic. Thank you.
Good luck getting out of that.
Okay, so Jackson, by the way, for those of you who don't get their door prizes tonight, it's Jackson's fault because he's reaching his hand into the basket. Yo, I'm sorry, one more thing. I'm so sorry. And then we also have a Palkers J-pole. What we've been switching it up, and I really like the way this is going, so we're going to continue to do it this way. If your ticket is called, you can come up and pick any prize that you want, including the Palkers J-pole. Reason we're doing it this way is we found that for people who have gotten the main prize already had a Palkers J-pole, and so it's just so much easier if you get your ticket just to pick any prize that you want. And it's been working out really well that way, so we're just going to continue on. All right.
Let's see.
Say it nice and loud. Last 3 numbers.
Last 2.
Last 3.
Last 3. 536.
536. All right. So you can set it just right here. Oh, turn around. Turn around. Turn around.
Hold it up. There we go.
556.
556. All right.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, it's his fault. It's not. I have nothing to do with this tonight.
I totally told him to make sure you speak my name.
Go to the trash man again.
All right.
Oh.
Yep. Show us how proud you are. You know this.
All right, mix these up really good. All right, Jackson.
559.
559. The child correctional stick.
Yeah, that's a Baofeng.
Is that dual band?
Yeah.
It is.
Is it?
Yep.
I'll go with that. I don't have one of those.
Good choice.
All right, okay. Hold up. There you go.
Keep in mind, it's made by Carl, so I can't guarantee the quality of it.
It's good for air guitar too.
I mixed it up really good this time. Like, take your hand here. Actually, let me do it here. This is a good mix up. Okay. Yeah? Oh yeah, it comes with free, by the way, that J-pole comes with free installation by any Asian of your choice. But there's only one Asian in our whole radio club, so that would be an OG.
509.
509?
Uh-huh.
509. Oh. So we got the McDonald's. Oh, I forgot one other prize. We also have the UVARC car sign here. Okay. Good choice. Let's.
There you go.
Okay.
You can look and pick out my ticket if you
540.
want.
540. Hey.
Good choice.
All right, look up here. Hold up, there we go. Smile. There you go.
554.
554. All right. Child correctional stick.
All right, hold it up. Contrasts great with your coat.
Okay, so we still have one hat left, the fuse tape, the Kenwood microphone, the McDonald's gift card, and the car sticker.
$506.
506, sir.
I could always use some fusion tape, some fusing tape.
$514.
514. Are you serious? All right, Trevor. No. Hey.
Hey, Trevor, hold on. Hold on. Can't sell there.
Yeah, but congratulations. You just stole my lunch for tomorrow.
Oh, you need to lose weight anyhow.
Why, I never.
535.
535.
All right, Cliff. If there's anybody who could use a Kenwood mic.
Okay, last two. We got the hat and we got the car sticker. Is it like a mix-up?
564.
564.
I'll take the sticker.
All right, and then the final prize is the hat. Oh, wait, hold on.
There we go.
And that is going to go to
513.
I've got plenty of them.
Congratulations.
We get focus on you. There we go. There we go.
Congratulations to all of our door prize winners. All right, Jackson, what's the one? How are you going to announce yourself next week on the 76ers?
I'm going to announce myself as the youngest general in the Utah Valley Amateur Radio Club.
One more hand. Thank you. You're awesome. He probably is.
So thanks to everybody for coming out. We're gonna shoot our slide to a Hall Burger. Come on over and join us, and we'll continue our Iowa pizzas over there and enjoy a little bit of good food and a lot of great company. couple of announcements before we go. We need to put up all the chairs tonight. So if you do that, we'd appreciate it. And a big thanks to Ralph in the back for programming the radios for us. Big thanks to Trevor for making us all look and sound good up here for everybody out on the internet. And thanks to Heath for sponsoring us and taking, getting us access to this room and all the things that Orem City does for us. So thanks, everybody.